It's a
No,
good
not the
thing I
church part.
started the stream now, just on that. I hope you
Oh,
have
that's
fun. I
perfect.
hope you have fun editing
Oh,
that.
hello everybody. Welcome to Heart of the Game here on Twitch. We are a local game store with a Twitch channel because we like to play games and we want to share that with the world as best we can. Tonight is episode 9 of our D&D Eberron campaign. And as always, we have our amazing players. We have Wolf, who's going to be playing Randall the Agile. And we have
Howdy.
Ashley, who is playing Navari, the Tiefling Rogue. We will give you a quick recap of what has happened last week. Our players found themselves returning to the city of Sharn, enjoying some time between jobs, being able to relax a little bit. However, an old comrade of Randall's had approached the group for help with a very interesting problem. A theft had occurred of a very powerful magical artifact. And to make sure that the peace is withheld, the Church of the Silver Flame did not want to send their own agents to recover the artifact across borders and other places. So they've asked our players, who are more independent, to go on this mission and hopefully bring this scofflaw, Lucin, and his sister, who is assisting his escape, Priscilla, to justice. Well, they got on the road with their old friend Phelan, who once again agreed to assist with his magical cart, and they took to a journey in hot pursuit. They found out that these people they were chasing have they're both a little more powerful than the average Joe you could run into, whereas Priscilla is an accomplished spellcaster and Lucin is most likely a vampire, yet to be proven. And so we ended last session with our players being able to catch up to the wagon that they were chasing. However, their quarry was able to escape through the woods, or at least get a head start in escaping. And that is exactly where we left off last week. So we're going to pick up tonight with you guys. So you're on the wagon with Phelan. And the other wagon has been stopped and there is no driver, no other people in sight. So you guys have a little bit of an idea of where these two would have tried to escape to, but you're not you're definitely not sure where they have headed by any means. And that's where we're going to pick up. So I'm going to just start with a very excellent question of what do you do?
Well, we know he's an undead of some sort. Can I recall information about any undead I might have read about in the church?
I'll let you make a religion check.
I was going to say that pertains to those that can shapeshift like that. Whoops.
Are we stopped at the moment too? Can I check their cart for anything? You want me to roll investigation? I'm probably gonna roll that anyway.
15.
Okay, so you've learned a little bit about what you believe him to be, and it's been more confirmed with his, in a sense, his ability to commune and get assistance from animals, such as the wolves that he called upon to slow you guys down. So you are strongly under the belief that he has been turned into a vampire.
Right. Do I recall any specific means that might aid us in destroying him?
You remember that silver, sunlight, those two things are the biggest
but magic
allergens.
Weapons and things like that will work just as well.
It definitely would be of good assistance, yes.
Okay. Right. Well, Navari, based on his actions tonight, pretty sure we're dealing with a vampire. Not a high-level vampire, but a vampire.
Fun.
Yeah, it's Unless you've got silvered weapons somewhere in your bag. I don't think we have any in our haversack. We might need to procure those items.
Definitely do not have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Navarre, you decide to go up to check out the wagon, and Phelan hangs back. He's keeping a lookout from your guys' wagon. And upon investigating it, you see a lot of... it seems like these people tried to leave in a hurry. So there's a couple of sacks with traveling clothes, and also some very much finer bits of clothing as well. And you also find in the back, the passenger compartment of this this covered, very luxurious kind of wagon, you find a coffin.
Hey, I found a coffin, Randall.
Got some ideas. Hey, Phelan, how's the cart holding together?
Oh, it seems to be doing just fine. I mean, that was a bit hairy back there when she threw that fireball at us, but we seem to be doing okay. And I've got the elemental back under control, so he seemed to get a little rowdy every now and then, so we have to make sure that we keep this thing intact. So let's be just a bit more careful, shall we, when we chase after somebody who might be able to throw fireballs at us?
Hey, we were just as shocked as you when she threw that fireball at us.
Are you sure about that? Because I remember seeing myself catch on flames and I was burning pretty bad. Thanks for the potions, by the way. That really helped a lot. But still, this is a little bit more than I signed up for.
Well, to be fair, we're not going to be doing this again. I actually have an idea, Navarre, if you'd like to assist with me.
What's the idea?
Well,
Is it setting
I plan
fire
on-
to the coffin and the wagon?
that is one way to go about it. I was actually going to destroy the wagon, so that works. Do I have any oil?
You have alcohol, don't you?
You never waste good alcohol,
Phelan
especially for this.
Phelan gives the exact same look. He's like, no, we're not wasting any of that, lass.
I know I have stuff that I could use to burn the wagon. I guess what I would want to do is possibly look for some, like, I've got a tinderbox, so kind of look for dry kindling and stuff.
Yeah.
In the immediate area, and set a fire inside of it, and start, like, the idea is to try and get the canvas cover, which I know has been soaked in a oil to make it water resistant, which is going to basically be a gigantic tinder bottle that I can light on fire, and it should go, but I need to get a small thing going to do that.
Okay.
I think I have a torch, actually. If I have a torch, I have a candle.
I think I have torches.
I'll take like 2 of my candles and 1 of her torches, and we'll just literally set this thing ablaze.
Okay, cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I got torches.
Do you guys want to dig through their stuff at all by any chance?
I figured
Go through
Navarre
their
already did that.
clothing?
Oh, yeah.
No, well, I mean, like, I mentioned
Sure.
what was in there, but, like, she didn't,
Oh,
you know,
you
it's
said
like, oh, it's
clothes.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll dig through it.
Okay, so as Navarre is ransacking their drawers, looking for anything of potential value or maybe something very fashionable, you notice something unusual, is that both of them seem to have very elegant, very high-end outfits as well, and they each have, in each of the bags is a mask, like for a masquerade kind of thing.
Cool.
Not so much for like a disguise, but, you know, it has like the long nose and it covers your, you know, the half face kind of thing.
Is there a masquerade going on at all, Phelan, in this town we're going toward that you know of?
Phyllis is not nothing that I'm aware of, but there's nothing with Sharn either. But who knows? There could be some big hubloo. But it sounds like a place that we ought to go. There'd be fine food, great drink, plenty of people to talk to, if you know what I mean. Deals to be made, friends to be found.
I'll grab the 2 masks.
Did you hear her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I go into the haversack and I produce 3 torches.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna light them up with the flint and steel. And
Okay.
Get the,
Before you do
candle.
that, taking some of the fine clothes, Whatever looks like it might fit Phelan, because I doubt anything will fit Randall, because Randall's probably shorter than them.
Oh,
No.
okay, that's where we went with this. He's
Yeah.
shorter.
I was like,
He's
not only
shorter.
I was
shorter,
like,
but
where is this?
stockier.
Where is this going?
It's
So
going
Phelan's like, oh, I don't
shorter.
need any of their clothes. Trust me, lass. I've got plenty of nice outfits.
Oh, okay.
I am quite the snazzy dresser, if you didn't know.
I did not know. I can't wait to see it. That's it.
Are we good, Navari?
Hold up, let me look one last time. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Light it on fire. Burn the world.
So you guys ignite the wagon and watch it burn into, in a sense, well, basically to a cinders.
Can we let the horses go before that happens? The one that are alive.
I
That was an
assumed that you
assume.
did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be clear.
That was
in
one of those things
case.
that's like, oh yeah, you guys, yeah, I definitely would do that. You don't seem to be that soulless.
I just wanted to make sure, because some DMs would have been like, yeah, the horses are on fire.
No. I try to be somewhat reasonable, but I do poke and prod. No, if you're in the middle of a fight, oh yeah, you better take every step you need to.
Like you wanted to save those horses? Well, that was a thought you should have had before you threw the fireball.
Right?
Now you just hear screaming horse. Oh nope! Now you just smell good horse meat
Terrible.
and the weird sensation of glue.
I wanted to make sure the
Oy.
horses were okay.
Well, you missed every arrow shot, so they should be fine.
I mean, I would have hit one, but I switched to the lady, who then used some magic spell.
Well, or maybe
I would have hit one, but I switched to the lady.
So maybe Navari, maybe it's just because you weren't aiming. You didn't have your heart in killing a horse, but you had your heart set on killing the lady.
I didn't even hit the lady though.
Well, you would have hit her too, except for she had spells and magic.
Turn spells and magic. Cheating.
Yep. So basically, I would have chopped up some of the wheels, chopped up some of the thing with my hammer to basically make the kindling and stuff needed to get that fire really going inside. And once it's well ablaze, and where I reasonably believe, where Patrick's inner pyrotechnic believes that it wouldn't actually be put outable, they couldn't salvage it. I'd be like, okay, we can go now. Head on to the next town. And we can maybe set up an ambush later on down the road.
I mean,
Possibly far enough to make it so that they'd have to get there by daylight.
All right. So you guys continue on your journey to get to Trollenport. And it takes you a few more days to get there, but you do get there in a good time. No more kind of trouble along the way. So this is the capital of the Gnomes nation of Zalargo, and it's on the coast. And one of the neat things about this place is that it has a bunch of like crisscrossed canals that flood through the city. So instead of streets, it's kind of like Venice, Italy, where the water makes all these canals and stuff and goes through. There's a whole bunch of bridges that can take you from different over to different places. But one of the main ways to get around the town, the city, is to use the boats. So when you guys arrive, as with most strangers, you're questioned briefly as you come in and people look at you. But there's a very large diversity of people here because, in Eberron, for the most part, people have really traveled throughout the world. Predominantly, this town is filled with gnomes, of course, because that's what it is. But a lot of the structures do accommodate for people of, what we would call normal height. There's definitely going to be doors that, Navari, you will have to duck to get down under, but most everything will be comfortable for Randall very, very easily.
Yeah, you mean that 4'4" height?
Yeah, but they do accommodate because they do trade because these are like the people that this part um these are like this is like the peoples that make the airships and things. So they take soar wood, um, which is a very lightweight, buoyant wood. They bind the elemental. They're the ones who make the air galleons that exist in the world. So
The
that is one of the
things
big
Phelan
things.
won't go on.
Yeah, the thing that Phelan will definitely not go on. He is not going to fly. That is for sure.
One day, hope we get him to fly.
So now that you guys have arrived in Trollimport, is there anything like special that you want to do? Anywhere you want to go? Anybody you want to talk to? What do you guys want to do now that you've arrived?
You'll probably maybe here see if we can see if there's like a masquerade or something going on. Party. See if that's where they were heading. Because they had them fancy clothes and masks.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a persuasion check as you ask around to try to gather that kind of information.
Persuasion. I rolled low. It was a 7 because I couldn't hate my life.
So Navari, as you try to gather information of this nature, a lot of people are very standoffish to you because your heritage reminds them of the demons and devils of the demon waste. So, and you're also taller than a lot of the gnomes, so you're intimidating, and that you do carry a sword, things like that. So some people are just very like, oh no, I don't want to talk to you. They just kind of walk by. Nobody's like outright like hostile towards you, where they're like attacking you, but they're very guarded about you. So you do run into another person who is dressed in kind of a nobility kind of look, somebody who is perhaps like a government official of some kind. It's like, oh, you must be talking about the ball. Yes, at the embassy of Andwar. Yes, there's a ball going on tonight, a masquerade to be exact. It is invitation only. But the most well-to-do people of most of the nations will be attending, of course, for it is quite the affair.
Interesting that you're telling me this when no one else would.
Well, you see, I tend to be a very friendly person. And I know some people are very distrusting of those who are of your heritage. However, you are traveling with a dwarf and a very unusual looking friend. And he's like pointing at Phelan, who seems to be kind of like tagging along for this part of the adventure, trying to help as best he can. And this person says, see, your friend there has a little bit of a reputation, and I suggest that you don't bring him anywhere near the embassy if you think you can get into this party. There's a reason he is no longer part of his house.
I look over at Phelan as I hear those words. Like, what did you do?
Phelan says, I told you I'm not on good terms with the house. That's why I'm not part of it. And I don't go into the NBCs, and I don't ask you many questions, so you don't ask me any questions.
Starting to feel like we might need to put a slight change to that particular policy.
Listen, I ain't no killer or murderer or nothing horrible, if that's what you mean. Otherwise, I'd be in that daft prison on that island. Oh, terrible place. I don't even want to think about it.
Prison on an island?
Yes, so one of the neat things about Eberron is that there is a prison.
They have their own
the name super fast.
They have their own whatever the word is.
Azkaban.
Azkaban?
Yeah, basically, except it's called Dreadhold. It's in the Lazlar Principalities, which is like think like pirate nation. Like the leaders of the Lazlar Principalities are various captains, and it's like a chain of small islands. And Dreadhold is a place where political prisoners and anybody that you just don't want ever seen again get arrested and sent to, because You are the most dangerous of the dangerous if you are a dreadhold.
It sounded
It's
like
not a good place.
it sounds like Luskin for a second there in Prisoner's Carnival. Oh, that's brutal. Well, because it's run by pirates. It's literally a whole town run by 5 pirate captains.
Yeah.
And they have an underbelly where they kill a bunch of prisoners and then they bring them out and parade them in front of the people. And
It's
they
not
give
that
them
dark.
yeah. Still, that's what it sounds like.
No, Dreadhold is a place where bad people go because this is, you don't just get hung for being a bad, breaking the law in an Eberron typically, unless but you could if you were in the like if you're in Dargon or the Goblin Nations, oh yeah, if you mess up, you could get forced into slavery or something like that because there's some that are very uncivilized, by our standards there.
Right.
Yes.
Digging through the bags, was there invitations?
There were no invitations in the bags.
They probably had them on that. Or just don't have any either.
Or they had whoever they were coming to meet, it was their invitation.
Yeah, it's like the +3. Who's my invitation +3?
I mean, is the noble still standing in front of us? Ben?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate your kind words. Was this a gentleman or a lady?
It was a gentleman.
Gentleman. I appreciate your kind words, sir. We don't generally take him out with us when we go places, so it stands to reason that I could understand the confusion there. Is there any particular place where we might find out should we acquire an invitation where we might do so?
Listen, the only way you're getting an invitation into this party is if you know those who are already there. You have to be one of the well-to-do.
I may not look it, but I clean up pretty nice.
I suppose you do, but what am I trying to say? You may not hit the financial contributions required, perhaps, to make it to this kind of event.
Just to clarify, Ben, where we are right now, we are not within. We haven't gone so far into what's its place that Silver Flame is still, or am I already in the taboo area of Silver Flame stuff?
No, you're okay.
Right here?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. Shut up, Navari. You don't even know what I was going to go with. Over there shaking her head like, don't do it. Well, I myself don't necessarily have what you consider financial contributions. The people I work for tend to make great contributions to all of society all across the lands. And I'd be willing to wager that I can get myself an invitation should I seek them out. But I appreciate you.
He gives you kind of a puzzled look and he says, "Oh, okay.
Are you going to the ball?"
Oh, no. I have far too much work to do, and I do not have time for such frivolous activities.
Do you meet the financial whatever contribution?
The financial requirements?
Yeah.
Based on his dress, he may be somebody who works within the confines, of the with these kind of people. He's probably not one of these super elite himself.
Yeah. He looks like he's upper middle class.
Mm-hmm. White collar job.
Yep.
But he's still a working man.
Okay.
I was like, I got that vibe off of him when he basically said that I don't look like I was like, because he's dealing with these people, but he's not them himself. So.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure. Okay.
Oh, you thought I was pissing somebody off that?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm good at it, but I wouldn't do that.
Right.
My first gut reaction isn't always to upset nobility in every town we go to. It's just my resting. It's my resting bee face.
It's not just nobility you upset though.
Well, the thugs I don't really care about, and I don't think you should either. We appreciate your time, sir. We'll let you get back to your business and we'll be on our own way. If that was the case, then Ben, I'm gonna seek out, or if I'm gonna obviously let my party know, but I'm seeking out any kind of establishment that might mark itself as the Silver Flame that I might be able to utilize with a connection to this place and get us into this party.
Ben, are you playing Pokemon? Pokemon Go, to be specific.
We are a gym at our store, just so everybody knows. So I frequently just open it, hit the things, or not a gym. We're a Pokestop, so I can get more items any time of the day that I'm at work by just opening the app. But I forgot the sound was on, so I'm sorry.
I just heard that too.
I was like, yeah, all of a sudden we just hear music coming in through your mic.
Yep.
And it's like,
Forgot the volume was on. I'm so sorry. But yes, just so you know, Heart of the Game, another reason to visit. We are a Pokestop. How cool is that?
I would just spin it every day.
Oh, that's what I do. Yeah. And I've only been playing this game again. Oh, let's see. I played it when it first came out a little bit, and then I got a new phone. Didn't put it on that one. And then one of my workers talked me into it Saturday, and so...
That's how it starts.
I lost a day, pretty much my life. Sitting here.
Sorry, continue what you're doing.
All right, sorry for the interruption, everybody. So yes, so Randall, you want to try to find like an embassy to probably Thrain, or like a temple dedicated to the Silver Flame to see if they can provide assistance to get you inside. Is what I'm understanding.
Basically, yeah. Okay. I'm looking out for the Silver Flame to try and see if I can locate a chapel or some place that would mark itself as allied with the Silver Flame, like that tavern. Yeah. And then, yeah.
So Phelan says to you, well, I wish I was more familiar with this city, but I'm not. I usually take my dealings to be more illicit places, if you know what I mean. Places that people ask fewer questions, and those of us who are not to the good graces of the houses and the nations can hide out a little bit better. But that being said, I'd be glad to help you find what we're looking for here. So what I would like you to do is roll a gather information, so persuasion, but I'm going to give you advantage because Phelan is going to assist.
I didn't hear assist me. I'm just joking.
What's that, Navari?
Nothing. Navari walks away. What's your pick?
Okay.
Navari's gonna do.
Navari's like, to hell with you two.
Navari's gonna go do her own thing. Just plot some.
She's gonna go get drunk.
No, she's not gonna get drunk. She's gonna do. I'm planning stuff.
She's gonna get drunk under a bridge with a bottle of wine. It's fine. We understand.
I don't actually have any. I didn't buy any new wine.
Oh, I've got the keg of wine.
You have a keg of wine?
Yeah.
It comes in kegs?
When did we get that?
We got it when we were in the ruins or whatever, when we went underground and dealt with the fire hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah. We'll save that for later.
Uh-huh. That's why I thought it was funny. He's like, that'd be the first thing he's gonna sacrifice because he doesn't really care for wine. If I'm being told to sacrifice liquor.
Yeah, right, yep, exactly. Well, the wine wouldn't be very flammable, I don't think, either. So yeah, did you roll?
I did, 15.
15, okay. So it doesn't take you guys a super long time, about 30 minutes, and you're able to get directions and find a temple dedicated to the Silver Flame. It's not the gigantic, extravagant, like ones that you're used to seeing in like some of the larger cities, because the faith here isn't as as big or pronounced in this area as it is in other places like Sharn or, for instance, Thrain. But they do have a nice, but it's very beautiful. It's very well structured, well kept. There's definitely a few trying to think of a word. Like priest, like mid-level priest, tending to everything, so that way, as soon as you walk in, you're immediately
Well, there's
greeted.
like you've got squires,
Yeah, there'd be like
monks.
squires, and
Yeah.
then possibly like a knight who oversees the place. And
Okay.
as you go inside, you see this very aged man. He's got a white beard. He's not wearing any armor, but he is wearing a tabard and stuff like that. And you could see that right now there's no services going on, so seats are empty at the moment, which is kind of good for you. And he greets you with like a gruff voice. He's like, "Oi, well, how can the faith help you today, Master Dwarf?"
Hi. Well, it depends. I have need of an invitation to a masquerade ball for a specific mission that I'm on.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, here's the thing. We do not participate so much in the politics and whatnot of this city. So, unfortunately, I myself cannot help with that. But I do need to know one thing. Why is it that you need to get in? This is very unusual. I can't imagine why you would need, require such things or have to, go into this place.
We're on the trail of a traitor, and that traitor seems to have let himself into that party. And we're trying to figure out who he means to contact.
Interesting.
And beyond that, I can't go into more detail. This is a very secretive mission. As I've been sworn to that secrecy, I've told you more than I should have.
Well, I respect your honesty, Master Dwarf, but I will say this. I wonder who he would be after. That embassy is run by Andarian, or Andwar. I don't think he would have a contact with them, would he? This traitor, he's a traitor to the Flame?
He is a traitor to the flame, yes.
It is
It
troubling
has not
indeed.
been made public knowledge for everyone to know. So, uh, but you say Endwar is the host of this party.
Yes, yes it is.
What is his business in the city? What does he do?
So Andwar is one of the nations. So this would be like
Is it AN or EN?
AUNDAR.
AUN.
So Andwar, or on Dare, might be the better way to say it. It's one of the original 5 nations of the place. Has known for having a lot of like very good farmland. So lots of goods, high food goods, wines, things like that to come from this place. Um,
Okay. Do you happen to know? And I apologize. My name is Phelan. The name's Phelan. I wanted to maybe possibly get what was your name, sir?
name is Sir Craig.
Sir Craig.
Sir Craig.
Well, Sir Craig, do you happen to have any specifics? I understand that the way that it was described to us is that anybody who's anybody would be at this party, and while you may not attend such political affiliations, does not mean that they would not send an invitation to the Silver Flame, who's probably made more contributions to the city than most.
You see, here's the thing. We did not get an invitation. Because this is a party not for anything to do with Trollenport or anything of that nature. It is a party for the nobility of Andor to cement alliances and make more deals and cater to the other rich people just being rich and better than the most of us.
I see. That's
Nothing that
unfortunate.
I have any interest in. And I'm very, very intrigued as why you would have an interest in such a place, especially coming here to ask for my help.
Again, I was under a different impression that this party was more of those with contributions to the city and contributions to the people having been made, whether it be by coin or by aid. And I figured the silver flame, wherever it goes, shines brightly and casts that brightness over all that it can.
Well, I respect your optimism, but no, this is mostly for those who are wealthy to enjoy the company of those who have their status.
I understand. Well, Sir Craig, I appreciate your time. I'll have to get back with my party and see if we can procure another means to enter this place. Hopefully by honorable means if necessary, but the importance of this mission and the importance of those that we aim to capture exceeds most other things at this moment. As you are well aware, I'm sure, orders are orders, and we follow our orders to the letter.
I understand and respect that. If you do need a place to lay low, if things get a little dangerous, come to the back door, knock twice, then once, and my squires will know that you're a friend and to allow you inside, and they will take you to the basement where we can offer some protection as long as you're not followed.
Well, with my compatriots' aid, hopefully that won't be the case. But I appreciate it. And I'll shake his hand and make my way out and see if I can find Navari wherever the hell she ran off to now, because she doesn't like going anywhere near the church.
Mm-mm.
Which you think
Phelan-
Randall would figure out by now, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, no.
He doesn't care.
Well, it's not that he doesn't care. It's just more of he's very forgetful, and it's all about the mission. So every time,
Yeah.
like, and for him, it's always the church is always the answer when there is an availability of the church.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Like if you have that resource, definitely tap into it for sure. So yeah, you find a Phelan and Navari at a local pub.
I like how you said, like, honorable means to the person. Meanwhile, my mind is thinking of less honorable means.
Oh, and I basically did state that I'm going to try honorable first, which this was my honorable means. You are now my other option. And your honorable means are a lot farther and fewer between than mine when it comes to acquiring and getting things that you want. Which I know, and that's why I'm just like, well, I'm going to try it this way first. This way didn't work. So, Navari, what do you got?
Well, it all depends, really. We could try sneaking in, but I know how you are with sneaking. We could.
Unless you've got some solvent that makes me armor silent.
I do
Well,
not.
I guess I would be wearing clothing. I might be a little more sneaky than normal.
Maybe. We can try and get the invitations from people and disguise ourselves as them people. By the way, have we had a rest? Have we healed up, Ben?
You guys had time for on your journey here. You would have had time for a long rest.
Okay. And I took my scarf back from Phelan because it's mine. Just so you know. We can try and get invitations from two people and disguise ourselves as them. We can.
So Navari,
What?
what you're suggesting is that you ambush somebody who's going into the party,
No.
knock them out, take their invitations, and dress up as them, and then go in.
No.
No.
Oh,
It was far more elaborate than that. Thank you very
She's
much.
freaking
I like to think I'm more clever than that.
I just like to be on the same page as you guys. That's all.
I'm pretty sure from what it sounded like, she's planning on pickpocketing invitations off of these people and then
Oh, that's
disguising us as
really
them
good.
and going in their place, and then they can't get in because their invitations are gone.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that was more
Now,
what I
out of
was going
curiosity-
for.
Yeah, I figured. I got you.
Or there's
now,
look for a desperate person who's trying to have company into the party.
that might work for you. I don't think they're going to be taking me on their arm.
You don't know, Randall.
We have a scarf of this case.
I would also like to point out that is there a particular reason that we would need to make ourselves look like those that were aiming to get in? I don't believe these invitations are going to have a picture on them.
Well, the people we're looking for know what we look like.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that we need to not look like ourselves. I'm more implying that we just need to not. We don't necessarily have to make ourselves look like the people we may have taken the invitations from.
Yeah.
We just need to look like nobility, and I've seen plenty of noble dwarfs to know what I needs to look like, and unfortunately, I'm not happy about it. Let's just put it like that. I did it once during my coronation.
I don't want to be a pirate.
I did it once during coronation, and I swear to God, I swear to myself that day
shirt.
I'd never.
You have to wear a puffy shirt.
I'd never do it again. And
All
here I am
up.
doing it again.
The other option is if they use servants, dress up and be a servant. Which seems less fun at a party.
Oh, absolutely. There you wouldn't get to have any fun.
Yes, but you're also less noticed.
Yeah.
And you can move around a little bit more freely.
Yeah, if you know where you're going.
Yeah. Not that Navari was probably Navari would have never done this before to infiltrate
I would never.
high society function.
I would never.
She's never crashed these kind of things before, or had to for her during her career.
Would never. Like, this is totally not speaking from experience.
Yeah, Randall already knows. It's expected at this point. I don't know a lot about you, Navari, but I know this.
What do you know?
You tend to be a bit of a sneak thief. You've got that look, and you act that way.
I don't have that look. I like to think I look better than that look.
You might be a cut above, but you still have the look. That look of I'm up to no good, and you might want to be keeping an eye on me.
Aww. Is it because I'm a tiefling? Is it the horns?
No, I don't think it's the horns.
It's clearly the tail.
It's the tail.
Yes, it's the tail.
You whip it around a little bit excitedly when you're about to do something you shouldn't. Kind of like a cat, getting ready to pounce on its prey.
I don't know if I like that comparison. I'll try and keep that in mind, though.
She's now actively trying to change the tell that she has. Well, I trust your judgment here, Navari. I went through the honorable means to try and get us in. At this point, I know that there's an importance here because we need to figure out who these two were trying to meet with, and more specifically, who he was trying to meet with. Because Lucan is he's going to become a problem. Now, I don't expect him to be making this party anytime soon. Because how long did it take us to get here?
It took you guys a few days still.
After the encounter?
Mm-hmm.
And that was with the magical means, which means it would take even longer for a regular horse-drawn carriage.
He doesn't have a horse-drawn carriage anymore.
No, I know. But I'm saying it
Oh.
would have taken longer with a horse-drawn carriage because we were on the magical elemental cart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how soon is the party based on what we know?
It is tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. So it might have taken them they might have been showing up right at the time for the party kind of thing. Under that, that's the inference that I'm getting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Whatever you want.
They're
I like
totally
these wild
not
goose
already
chases.
here.
Hello, red herring. Hello.
Red herring. I knew it was him all along.
He always butts in. He's always getting into me business.
I lost track of what we're doing. Oh, I was gonna say that I had a flash. I had a flashback of when I was.
Mhm.
I DM'd before, and the players went to a ball, and there was a vampire. That's what my
Nice.
flashback went to.
Nice.
Alright, continue. As we get sidestepped. Oh, we're debating our options, weren't we?
No, we were telling you that you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and Randall's just gonna try and back you up.
What am I gonna
Everybody's
do?
gonna look the other way while you procure an invitation.
How do you want to procure the invitation?
I don't know. How do you typically procure your invitations to parties you weren't invited to?
Oh, it's a secret.
Well, then don't tell me and just go ahead and do it.
They don't like tieflings that much here, it seems, though.
Yeah, well,
some people.
it
don't.
also probably feels like, you know, we weren't necessarily dressed like the upper crust of the city, and that might have had a lot to do with why they shunned you a bit.
So yeah, like because you guys are dressed to traveling is how you are clothed. You know, you've been on the road. Your stuff is not like pristine. You're not wearing like high society garb.
You just made me think of a dwarf from a book I read.
Is there a bathroom to change in here?
Oh, you guys are probably gonna. Yeah, you guys would probably like easily. You guys would probably want to procure rooms for the night anyway. So I mean, yeah, you could easily have a place to change if you wanted to put on finer.
Yeah,
clothing.
I have a set of fine clothes.
Oh, I know you do. But
I've got a scarf now.
Yeah, and
I can make myself look like I'm on. I'm gonna make myself
the puffy shirt.
I'm gonna make myself look like I'm wearing
the puffy shirt.
Really elegant, like almost gilded armor, full plate armor.
Oh, okay.
And with real fine clothing with like purple, like deep purples, and then gold filigree along the sleeves and cuffs into a white lace at the ends and along the collars.
What did you put in the chat?
The puffy shirt.
Oh, okay.
The puffy shirt he thinks that I'm going to wear, but I'm not. I refuse. I'm going to be wearing.
Come on, you gotta wear the puffy shirt. Just say it. Just say it. You're gonna be the first pirate, Randall.
We make Phelan wear the puffy shirt.
Phelan could be the first pirate.
The one person who's never allowed. Oh
Not
God,
allowed
Seinfeld.
in there.
I don't want to be a pirate.
Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm picturing. Is it's like purple with gold filigree sewed into it, and then like a white lace cuff that I put the bracelet of fire resistance around the exterior of, and I make it show through. Okay. But I'm basically dolling up. It's still the same crap underneath. It just looks fancy.
Yeah, but you're using the scarf of disguise to
make it look fancy, and
almost like a dress like a dress uniform.
Don't forget to fancy up the beard.
Well, the beard's always fancy, actually. That's probably the one thing you never see me not take care of.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for the pictures, and then definitely.
Yeah, like Randall might look like a lout and a thug most of the time, but his beard is like well maintained, well kept, always oiled properly, always cleaned and washed, and there's generally a few gems and gold rings in his beard.
Okay, very cool.
Like he always, it's a dwarf thing. Like his hair and beard are always well kept because they don't cut, like he doesn't cut his beard.
Okay.
So like he trims the edges to keep it from splitting and stuff, and that's about the extent of him cutting his hair.
Keeps it maintained. And decorates that. Like that's what he blings about himself.
That is exactly what he does.
That's awesome.
And so he doesn't do anything with his hair and stuff. He takes off the helmet, but he carries this helmet that looks ornate just like the rest of the armor now.
Mm-hmm.
under his arm, and he puts the he keeps the hammer, but he makes it look like it's not there.
Okay.
And I can't wear my armor under the fine clothes, can I?
You could, but it's gonna be noticeable. Like, if people realize that you have something underneath, which would
Hashtag
be weird going to a
You
party.
could
no
you
armor
could
run.
do what I'm doing.
That spell only lasts an hour. I mean, the party is tomorrow. I was just trying to get invitations.
Yeah, but you could do things like like in preparation, in a sense. I guess would
Yeah.
be the best.
Yeah, I was probably gonna do something like that for the party, but for now, probably not.
Okay.
I'm gonna regret saying that, but
I'm like, how much of an hour? Like, how long do you expect to be at this? Oh, you're gonna probably try and lavish this up, aren't you?
no. What? The party's not tonight. It's tomorrow night. We need to get invitations.
I understand that, but you're going to enjoy this and relish in it.
No.
Yeah, that shit-eating grin on your face says otherwise, Navari.
Here to do a job.
Uh-huh.
Only...
Yeah. I get the feeling Randall's gonna be doing the oxen load of the share of the work tomorrow.
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not like. I
I'm
might
gonna, like,
be
turn-
inclined to agree with you.
Randall just turns around and Navari's just gone. And the next thing he knows, he sees her up on a balcony schmoozing with some noble, and she's got a freaking glass of wine in her hand. I'm like, son of a...
Oh wait, I have a... Hold up.
By the silver flame.
Let me...
Yes, by the flame.
I think I have a picture that might relate to that.
Oh, great. Well, it feels like we're making progress.
Slowly and surely.
Randall makes sure to get his own room tonight.
I want my own room.
Oh no. No. He's separating himself from Phelan tonight. He wants actual sleep before the
What?
mission.
Do
You don't want to bunk with Phelan?
I want sleep before the mission.
No!
That's not allowed.
You can't do that to Phelan.
I mean, I can do that to Phelan.
Poor Phelan.
Navarre, you
hurt
keep
his
him company.
feelings.
I'll be busy.
I'm sorry, I'm busy too. I have invitations to attempt to get.
Yeah, I figured you were going to be out tonight.
How do you
Don't
know
do
I'm
anything.
not? How do you know I'm not out every night?
You got me there. I do have a keen ear, but I can't guarantee that I don't.
Oh
always
yeah, but if
miss
Phelan's
you
in the
going
room
by.
with you, you're not going to hear anything.
No, of course not.
Okay, look at the chat.
Yep, that's about right. That's exactly what I picture happening.
We were doing an escape room, and a person taking the pictures told us to look like we're laughing and
Yeah.
being fancy with the props that were around the room.
Yeah, that's about right. That's exactly what I picture happening right now. Or tomorrow evening. Randall turns around and just like, Navari? Oh, son of a bee. By the flame, she's always doing this to me.
Yes.
And by always, this is the
everyone.
first time at a fancy party.
Just get ditched.
Yeah.
So Navari, where'd you go?
Yeah, exactly. It's literally going to be, so Navari, what's the plan? Navari?
Navari?
Oh, son of a... You just see Randall be like, well, if it's got to be done dirty by Randall, it's got to be dirty. Let's do this. Walks into this noble party. 5 minutes later, you just see Randall getting tossed out by bouncers.
I like how we're procrastinating now at this point.
Well, it's overnight, and I'm procrastinating because I don't want to be in the room with Phelan tonight.
Well, we gotta get them invitations first.
I wasn't sure what time of day or night it was.
Oh, what time of day or night is it? And there's still stuff we can do at night.
It is 5 o'clock in the evening. Approximately.
Mm. Hmm. And is the town separated by like lower class, middle class, upper class?
Yeah, a little bit. Like there's there's poor. Like this place is for the most part is a very well-to-do town. So like even the poorest people aren't like that poor. I guess is a way to describe it. It's not like Aladdin where you have that whole like kind of undercity where he lives in like a place with no roof or walls, but he has a view of the palace, but it's like as far away from the palace as you can get because he's with all the other thieves and beggars.
Are you saying I'm not gonna see a flying carpet above my head?
Correct.
I can show you the world.
Don't get us trademarked.
And Phelan's like, I am not getting on no carpets. I'm staying on the ground right here. It's safer that way.
Come on,
Much
Phelan, it'll
safer
be
that way.
fun.
No, don't you be putting me on my don't fly in thing. I told you I do not fly. These feet do not leave the ground.
Back of Randall's mind. I wonder how much alcohol it would take to get him onto that carpet.
Yes, from the play you guys saw called Aladdin.
It was a great play. I enjoyed it.
It was an excellent play.
Those flying carpets aren't cheap, though.
No, definitely not.
We
They're
borrowed
more
their
of like a
flying
parlor
carpet
trick
from the
kind
play.
of thing. They're a parlor trick more so than like a practical magic.
It's actually someone just casting telekinesis on it.
On a regular rug.
On a regular rug.
Oh, man.
There's still stuff we could do at 5. We could go to, like, see
Well,
if-
here's the question, Navari. Do you want Randall with you while you try and do your secrecy business, or do you want Randall to stay away? Because it feels like you might want Randall not near you.
We could do half and half. You can help me at the first half.
Okay.
You can help me listen for if people are looking to, get rid of
Maybe
tickets or need gates.
Are you hoping for scalpers? Navari, I would say this. In my mind, the first thing that would go to a party like this, especially the night before, is people heading to shops where fancy clothing, dresses, gowns, suits would be made. They're going to be heading there to pick up their garb for the following evening.
True, you don't want to wear something you've already worn.
Correct. Which means they're going to be waiting at those places, and it might behoove us to find a couple of those shops and eyeball them.
True.
That said, I don't know how good your pickpocketing skills are, but I'm hoping that the aim from the night previous is not the consistency that you're going to have today.
I hope so too. But it's in the faith of the gods, whoever's watching over.
May the goddess guide your hands. Because I don't think bless works in relation to skills.
But that is if we need to pickpocket it.
No, I'm thinking inwardly about magic that I have that might be useful. I don't have it yet.
Oof. But yeah, I guess we're gonna go to, like, outside one of them fancy clothing shops or whatever, or near it, to see if we could find any snazzy looking people, Ben.
Okay.
But, can I quickly grab, like, a quick snack real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't eaten much all day, I apologize. I'll be quick. Kaylin and Randall can plan something too. Randall can come with me. I urge Phelan to stay.
So as you go to where you feel like because you guys have booked rooms and stuff, as you go to talk to Phelan to tell him Vari's like, oh, I'm gonna tell him to stay. You're not sure where he is.
He's already disappeared. I hope he didn't get picked up by somebody that doesn't like him.
That is the best thing you can all hope for.
Roll the ability check. Ooh. I am going to cast when she gets back before we head out into the public's eye. Ceremony.
Okay.
And I'm going to do. It takes an hour to cast it, and I pull out $25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver
Okay.
to basically do a coming of age spell on her. And what it does is it'll last for the next 24 hours. And whenever she makes an ability check, she can roll a d4 and add that number to the ability check. She can only benefit from this right only once.
Okay.
So once I've done it to her, I'll never be able to use it on her again.
Sure, I gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting.
I could also do dedication. Dedication's a little bit interesting. That one for 24, it's basically you touch one humanoid who wishes to be dedicated to your god's service, and for the next 24 hours, whenever the target makes a saving throw, it can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the save.
Nice.
Yep. This is a really interesting spell that I've never looked at before. So I've got something for you, Navari.
Me?
Yeah. Do you trust me?
Depends on it depends on what it is.
It's magic. But you need to trust me. It's going to aid you in procuring the tickets, possibly smooth talking your way in.
Sure.
I need you to sit here, and he starts tracing out these runes, divination runes and divine scapes and stuff. And you see him after portraying, it takes him like 20 to 30 minutes just to draw this circle out. And then he starts laying silver powder into the circles and into the runes. And you hear him start to chant, and his hands glow, and you watch as the circle begins to emanate this like warm glow. And you, Navari, start to feel the presence of this divination, this divine magic slowly going up your feet and through your body until you yourself are all glowing. And by the end of it, the glow starts to slowly fade, but the warm feeling and sensation lingers. And he casts Ceremony, Coming of Age. And for the next 24 hours, you can make any ability check that you make. You can roll an extra d4 and add it to the results.
Wait.
That is the only time I'll ever be able to do that to you.
That'll be useful for when I roll low, like half the time. You think if they don't like silver, we can take a bunch of silver coins and throw it at them?
I don't know that would do much, but getting our blades coated in a fine coating of silver, that's possible. It's about 100 gold from what I last recall doing it.
Oof.
But once you've done it to your weapon, you'll never have to do it again.
Makes sense. Do you think anyone does that around here?
Oh, in a fine town like this, I'm sure on the edges you'll be able to find yourself some fine craftsmen and blacksmiths. they'd be more than capable of doing such a thing.
Do you think we can make Phelan do that for us?
Good luck. Phelan's gone.
Phelan?
Not sure where he is right now.
He disappeared.
He never says goodbye.
No, he doesn't.
That's really rude of him. This is like the third time he hasn't said goodbye to me.
Well,
Seeing as how you're the only one
things.
Seeing as how you're the only one who seems to be able to find him, it seems prudent.
Don't worry, I'm sure the wizard person found him, or the vampire.
Because if we were sharing a room, was there does it look disturbed, or did it just look like he left?
Oh, it just looks like he left.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like Phelan's out doing Phelan-y things. So, but that spell took an hour to cast, by the way. So it's now 6 o'clock.
You made me sit for an hour?
Well, you could have stood
for the
an hour
ritual,
if you
yeah.
It's a long time to wait.
That is a long time for someone to be still.
Well, to be fair, you were coming of age. It's okay.
You don't have to remind me I'm old.
Well, you're a little less old now, because you just came of age.
Navarre walks out of the room.
Don't worry, I can do a wedding ritual to bless you and your husband when you finally get reunited and give you a +2 bonus to your AC.
Permanently? Or just for the day?
For the next 7 days.
Oh.
Gains a +2 bonus to AC while they are within 30 feet of each other, and a creature can benefit from the right again only if widowed.
My husband's not a fighter.
Well, no, but if you're defending him, he'll have a +2 to his AC, and you'll have a +2 to your AC.
That's true. How long does that take? 2 hours?
An hour. It's all the same.
So about as long as a wedding.
I don't know how many weddings you've been that have only lasted an hour. Those must be pretty shite weddings.
They were.
Ceremony. The ceremonies are short.
Yeah.
Because that's what that's what you hope for anyway, is a short ceremony.
That's true.
Yeah, because the after party's where everything's at.
Yep, exactly.
God, I hope they have an open bar or a paid bar.
I hope they have good food. Alright, to the clothing shop.
Yep.
Alright, so you guys go to procure some fancy dress. And
no, we go to watch people procure fancy dress.
Oh, that's right. Watch people procure fancy dress.
Yep.
I forgot.
That's okay, Ben. We're here to remind you.
Thank you. What I love is, I will just put it bluntly, how, random, how things just take a very different turn than I expect.
Hold on a minute. You're welcome.
Have you not? This is every game that I've been in with you, Ben.
That's very true.
Have you not forgotten how we traveled, saw a bunch of frost giants? You thought we would turn back to where we're supposed to be for solving a puzzle, but instead we decided to go the opposite way and then keep going the opposite way, helping Stuart. Stuart was one of Ben's NPCs that we loved. He was he was a wannabe womanizer, but he was so bad at it. He was a really nice dude and everything, and not a really bad dude. He was trying to flirt with every girl, but he was so bad at it. Especially he would try to do the elves, and he didn't know Elvish. So me and the Tabaxi, because my character was a half-elf, would be talking in Elvish, and he'd say something really bad, Elvish, jumble of words. And then one time my character was supposed to help him, and I just said, because he was like, yes, I slayed this, whatever. And in Elvish, I was supposed to be helping him. I'm like, he didn't actually do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she was supposed to be translating for Stuart, and
I'm like, I would not trust my party. I'd be that guy being like, oh, buddy.
she tanked him. She tanked him. We'll just put it delicately.
Yeah, the Tabaxi. See, if I was the Tabaxi, I'd have been like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, Limbani and Alria tanked him.
You tried taking the Bonnie's kill, like, credit.
Listen, the person that you guys were talking to wasn't there. So, I mean...
I really like Stuart, though. Aurea liked him, too. She just liked messing with him, though, too.
It seems like that's all she cared about was the ability to mess with him.
Aurea messing with people for half the time is how she shows affection.
Ah, okay.
Ask Bonnie and how many rocks she had chucked at her. Not in that campaign, but in a different campaign.
Yes, because that makes it better.
We were Team Sassy. I jokingly said, I'm like, I wonder how it would go to have Randall, Alia, and Limbani be on all the same team. And thought it was a great idea.
Oh my god.
You mean you don't want to meet my half-orc or half-elf barbarian?
But anyway, so you guys, so if I'm not mistaken, so the plan is to go find people who are getting their clothing, their costuming, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys go out into the city of Trollenport.
Oh shoot! Is it a costume?
We be trolling in Trollenport.
Trolling. Is it a costume party? Do we need costumes?
So it's like it's a masquerade. So everybody's gonna be wearing traditional, very fancy, elaborate clothing, but they're also going to be wearing masks. So your mask might be, one that you just wear on your face, or you might be holding it with this, like a stick, like a cover kind of thing up to your face. But generally speaking, it's just one of those kind of like, high society.
High society. Makes sense.
Not a party that I myself would attend, because I am a very raucous, rabble-rousing, loud person, so I would not fit in very well.
I wouldn't attend any party, so it's okay.
Same.
If I have a choice about it.
Same.
But it seems that the best place to get your clothing hemmed, trimmed, and fitted for you, and also to find a very elegant mask for this event, the place that most everybody is going is Julius Scissors.
I like the name already.
And Julius Scissors, by reputation, is a place of elegant and excellent craftsmanship. Very inflated prices, of course, but those who are shopping there tend to not worry about what something costs, for they leave a letter of marque because they know that they are good for it. These are people who have more wealth than they could ever spend in a lifetime, potentially.
What's the price range we're talking?
It's one of those things where, like for a very elegant mask, you're probably looking at, 50, 60 gold pieces to start with. And that's really because, like, this is a place like a designer who's well known, well to do in this city. So, like, there's elegant cloaks and dresses and very fancy boots for sale here.
Okay.
But thankfully, now you two have redressed, I assume, to go out and about.
Yeah, I'm
to look
in
the
what
part.
what you heard me describe is how I'm looking now. So I look very fancy.
Could walk into this place and be greeted warmly, as opposed to
the rubble.
As opposed to just being shooed out the door because you don't belong.
I mean, that's a step forward.
We're sorry. I'm having flashbacks to telling the Night Krieger my name is Thalen, and how bad I am at coming up with a name on the spot. My name's Jack. That was my person. That was my go-to is Jack, and I'm like, this isn't good.
Who do we see inside?
So
Fancy
inside,
people.
you see an older couple, both human. Um, they appear to be looking at different masks by themselves, and standing nearby on a box is a gnome, so he could be at a better height to talk to them. This gnome has black hair that appears to be greased and slicked back. He has a very thin mustache, and he's wearing um, like tailor's clothing. He's somebody who's been working. His sleeves are rolled up. His shirt's unbuttoned at the top. He's got pants. He's got a few pins and stuff. It appears to be like a belt pouch at his side, so he can make adjustments to things. He has scissors very close by, and it appears to be like a rope that has knots in it, so he can take measurements. As you guys walk into the establishment, Julius Scissors, he is very excited. He says, "Oh, welcome! You must be here to purchase one of the most exquisite masks in all of the city, because I, Portho, will only give you the best and provide you. Now, please, once I am done with these fine people, take your time, look around, be comfortable. We have drinks if you wish. Very fine imported tea from the Elidine reaches. And once you are ready, I will be happy to guide you on your journey of finding the most wonderful mask. So that way, everyone will be looking at you, and of course, my other patrons here, because you went to Julius Scissors."
Thank you very much. Sorry, I was.
It's okay. So he goes back to talking to them, and he appears to be getting a package ready to hand them. And they both nod politely and pay him. And the older woman, as she walks out past you guys, she kind of like, ugh, dwarves. Kind of like looks down, nodding, like like you're somehow beneath her, as if like you're not dressed fancy enough for her to be worth talking to. And her and her husband, he opens the door for her, and he seems to be a little like cautious, as if like she's very kind of a little mean. Maybe she's the one who controls their household. So he opens the door for her, and he kind of stumbles a little bit, and then she walks out, and he follows up quickly. So Porthos walks back over to you too. So, do you have any ideas of what kind of mask would you like? Would you like an enchantment of some kind, of illusion to go along with it? Of course, it'll only be temporary, but if you want to get all eyes upon you, that would be the way to do it. I could make it so that your mask dances with flames and glows in beautiful colors of all the rainbow. Now, mind you, River, he is very short because he's a gnome. So, like, he's kind of like at waist height, making like all these gestures and things and talking about it. But you, of course, that is why you are here, is the Anduar ball tomorrow night, right? There's no other reason that I can imagine that you would be here.
It's true, we are. Sorry.
If he's looking at me at all, I literally look to Navari and I kind of gesture without talking. Just kind of like got my arms crossed over my chest, just sitting there like.
He's a man of few words. Yes, we are indeed looking for a mask.
Since he is someone of few words, perhaps we let him be a gargoyle. Something very stern, powerful. I have just the mask for him. And he steps out of the room for a moment, and he scampers back out, and he has this very simple mask. It has this giant nose, and it's gray, and it looks like it's made out of stone with the cracking and stuff, but it's all just part of the illusion of like what he's been able to create with magic and stuff. He says, "You see, this would be perfect for someone who doesn't speak much. Nobody would expect you to speak, for you are a statue, stone, grand, powerful. What say you? I could let it go for a simple 100 gold pieces."
Look down at Randall. Since this would be for him.
Yeah, I look to the gentleman. I didn't come by my wealth by giving it away frivolously, and this might be a grand mask, but is it really worth 100 gold?
You see, it is because everybody is going to want to talk to you. Imagine the information you could procure just by listening to people speak to you, especially people who have been drinking a little and they get a little loose of the tongue and they begin to chat and talk to you while you just solemnly listen, sternly and quietly, because they're so intrigued by the mask that you wear, the mask that gets their attention, draws them in, guides them to you. They're wondering, who is this mysterious stranger I've never met before? Actually, that is funny because I have never met you before, and I know most every well-to-do here in Trollenport. It is my gift.
Ah, traveling merchants of sorts, new to the region, looking to establish ourselves, and this looks like the place to do it. This ball, I've heard, is one of the best ways to grow your influence.
Most certainly is. You are quite right about that. If you are looking to travel and make deals and make more wealth, there'll be plenty of people for you to talk to. All right. But I do respect you not wanting to spend as much. So how about this? How about I make a deal for you? 90 gold pieces.
Seems fair enough. I appreciate your candor. And he reaches into a deep pocket
Mhm.
and he pulls and produces 9 platinum pieces and hands it to the gentleman.
Ooh, paying in cash. Very, very good. Yes, you are a wealthy merchant indeed. Well, thank you very much. He seems to put it to a bag, and the bag seems far deeper than it should be in his pouch. Perhaps it is like a very small bag of holding. So, it's not like your haversack that could carry like a barrel, but it's obviously that it can,
Yeah.
carry a lot of stuff
It's
for him because
like
it's
an
used
extra
for
dimensional
manually.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for the lovely lady. See, you want to enter this place and have all heads turn upon you, which they should anyway, because your beauty is quite extravagant. And I imagine you want to accentuate that. So I have just the thing for you. And he comes back and he has this mask that appears to be like engraved with like flames. So it's like orange and red color, and it looks like as if it's just the whole thing. Now, what you'll want to do when you put this on is be very careful because it might surprise you and any around you. However, nothing to fear, for the flames are completely harmless and not real. It is simply an illusion designed to get the eye of every gentleman in this entire establishment, which will probably cause a few disputes amongst couples, of course, as their ladies catch their wandering eyes gazing upon you. What say you? Does this mask seem to fit your needs?
Mm, are we able to? Am I able to try it on before?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, try it on and see what
Okay.
happens.
So you place it over your face, and this one doesn't cover your nose or anything. It's simply like
It's
kind of just
the
covers
upper
your
part.
eyes. Yep.
Okay.
And then as soon as you put it on, you feel like a very gentle, pleasant warmth, and then the entire thing just ignites and it like covers your entire head. So it's as if like your hair, like if you had hair that was going up, it turns your hair to that of fire, and it's completely harmless. It is just a very gentle warmth, so it creates the illusion that it's giving off heat. And he's like, oh, "Yes, Porthos Jewelhammer has done it again. An exquisite man for an exquisite lady who will turn all heads who enter and or get the ball. You will have to turn the suitors away. Somebody will want to dance with you and have you on their arm.
Mm.
So, what do you think?
Is it gonna scare people?
Oh, only the faintest of faint of heart, such as the elderly and those with heart conditions, should have to worry. But from what I understand, the House Jarasco enclave here is quite the best. So if anybody does have a health problem, they will be taken care of immediately.
Hmm. I mean, I do like it. Is there anything a little like more subtle though?
You want subtlety.
Subtle and elegant.
I think I can do that. Uh, give me a moment, please.
Does he walk away?
Yes.
I turn to Navari and I go, smart choice.
Yeah.
You really don't want to be going into this place looking like a devil. Like you just walked fresh out of the Nine Hills. Because that's kind of what that looked like. Your head was literally on fire for a moment there.
I figured. I mean, it's cool.
And don't get me wrong, you looked very pretty in it, but I don't have the disposition that most would in regards to tieflings in that manner.
So he comes back. This time he has a mask that is in the center of it is a very pale purple, and then it transitions very naturally from red to blue on the outskirts of it, and it almost has like, for the best way to describe it, it almost has like in the middle of it almost has antennas, very gentle golden antennas. He says, "Now this is very subtle, very elegant, but still just as eye-catching for anybody who gets close." And he hands it to you. "Now, please put it on."
I'm very out of character. I'm scared to put it on now. What's
Why?
it do?
Don't worry about it. Try it on. It'll look great on you, I'm sure of it.
Put it on.
Okay, so you place the mask onto your face, and Randall, you are a few steps away, so you don't notice anything unusual. I mean, it just looks like a very beautiful mask. But Porthos is like, "Please, lady, come to the mirror and get so you're just close." And Randall, you come close as well. And as you get within just a couple steps of her, you notice that the mask takes on the appearance of a butterfly gently flapping its wings. But that enchantment is only visible to those who are very close, like somebody within like dancing or conversation distance.
Interesting.
See,
So a
subtle
conversation
and elegant, just as you asked.
piece, something that they'll remember her when they talk to her, but
You will-
not unless they come and talk.
Exactly. Exactly.
How much is it?
Oh, please. Let us not talk about price so early. Tell me, how do you feel about it? What do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Does this feel like the one that you want?
I do like it. It's very pretty. I like the change thing.
So he says, "Well, see, this is one of my best works, so I cannot let it go frivolously."
Does
You
he
have to understand.
does he appear to be on the level with that statement?
Oh, go ahead and roll a what do you call that? Sense motive.
Insight.
Insight, yes.
It's not the best I ever do, but the
Can I roll as well?
that
though-
is a 10 even. Not
Okay.
great.
Can I roll? Even though
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
probably roll terribly.
Randall's nothing if not pragmatism, and even if he's not an actual merchant, he's definitely pragmatic with his money.
What was it? An insight? Oh
Yeah, you're basically trying to gauge his demeanor
11.
and so
Okay.
one better.
So like he's not dishonest, but he is giving you like the full on, this guy's a salesman. He is
Yeah.
selling himself, he's selling his product, he
Yeah.
is laying it on.
A little thick, but
A little, yeah, but
Like how we came for invitations and instead we're getting masks.
well, we need masks to go into this party anyway.
Yeah.
So how much for the mask? You state that it's one of your finest pieces, and you can't let go of it. And while I judge you fairly that that is a fine piece of craftsmanship, I do have a keen eye for the things.
Well, why don't you just let me send you a bill to where you're staying, and we will not worry about the cost tonight. Let's not spoil the evening. Um,
Yeah.
See, that doesn't sound entirely fair, you know?
No, that does sound fair. Sounds. In all my merchant dealings, I've always had the finer sense to know that you let a client settle on an item, become in love, infatuated with the item, before you let them go and send them the bill for your item. I
exactly.
I know what you're doing here. I applaud you in your masterful speak, good gnome. But I will say, I've already paid for my mask. I'd love to know what her mask would cost so I can pay for it now. As you've
You
already seen,
must pay for it now.
I like to own what we have on us and not be owed anything going into a place of such finery as we will be.
All right. Simply 200 gold pieces.
Um, when hearing the price point, does it sound a little exorbitant?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, while I agree that this is a fine piece, I don't know that I'd say it's 200 gold pieces worth. In fact, I'd even say that the flaming mask you had out here before had a much finer enchantment on it. And while it's not as subtle, it's still a much finer and much flashier enchantment.
You see, Master Dwarf, anybody who could create an ever burning lantern could create that enchantment with enough practice. But for my illusion, with the butterfly, requires someone of immense skill and practice to master the subtlety and the design. So I can't evaluate it anything less than what it's worth.
Yes, but merchant to merchant, I know that you're upselling it just a bit in hopes that you might get more than what you actually paid for it. And I'm not saying that the time that you spent on the item and the craftsmanship that went into it wasn't worthwhile, but I don't necessarily think it's worth the 200 gold that you're saying. I feel maybe more akin to, say, 180 gold.
Go ahead and roll the persuasion check as he tries to hold a poker face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sucks.
You have
Natural one.
inspiration?
Yeah, sure. I'll use my inspiration for that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
really
will,
want to.
I will use my inspiration haggling with the merchant for
Yeah.
mask.
I mean, you don't have to.
Nope. It was meant to be natural one again. 2 in a row.
Now, Master Dwarf, how about I speak to the lady and just collect my fee?
Well,
And
I'm the
you
one paying for
enjoy.
it.
Well, I understand, but she should have the finest things.
Is this the mask you want, Navari?
I mean, I haven't really seen many other masks.
Would you like to look at a few others before we make the settlement on this one?
It doesn't matter to me. I don't want to take up too much of his time. He looks like he's very busy. I mean, when in doubt, we can always take business somewhere else.
Oh, no, 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 no. I cannot let you leave without this mask. Because it is the finest mask you'll find in the entire city. I promise.
I
You will
mean,
not get anything remotely as elegant anywhere else.
I was looking for a new mask. I mean, I have two other ones, though.
Yes, but those are old news. You don't want to. You want to attend this masquerade looking fresh and beautiful as ever.
Yes, but... Well... I mean, 180 did sound fair.
Okay, go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Navari.
I hope I roll a 1 too. And then just end up paying 200 for it.
Where you insult him and he just kicks you out.
Oh no, I rolled really low because apparently my dice hate me.
You have inspiration. Actually, no, you get a D4 on your die roll
Yes, she does. Yes.
on top of whatever your modifier is.
It's a 10 because I rolled so low because my dice hate me today. They don't hate me as much on my Friday games, but for some reason Thursdays they're like, no,
Well,
you
if you
can't do
Thursdays.
it. They
If you
can't do
just stop
anything cool.
rolling with anger in your heart
Stop
on
rolling with
Thursdays
anger.
only, it would be fine. So I see her kind of trying to do the same thing, and I immediately see where the conversation's heading, and I pull into my pocket and pull out 20 platinum and hand it to him.
Okay. He takes it gleefully and he says, "Thank you so much, and please remember that Porthos Jewelhammer created your mask, so if anybody asks whether you got such exquisite clothing, make sure to send them my way. Plus, you may even see me there tomorrow, as I was able to become a guest as well, because I designed the mask for Nea Erkrel. She is the highest ranking diplomat in the Enclave, if you must know, and she invited me personally here."
You said Neo or Krell?
Mm-hmm.
Did she invite you because you made her mask?
I did. And, well, there are other reasons you can get an invitation to things in this city, if you know things about people.
I feel like you've been to more than a few of these parties, and you've caught a few loose tongues while there, huh?
Oh, yes. Sometimes the taller folk don't even notice that I'm there, as he twirls his mustache a little bit, like, but, yes. And he shows you guys the invitation. As you could see, the signature is quite authentic,
I'm taking a
along with the seal.
I'm taking a good look at it.
And he folds it back up and he says, "So, I look forward to seeing you both there tomorrow.
I look forward to seeing you.
Now, I am going to close up shop and I'm going to have a drink later. I hope you both have a wonderful evening."
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you, Porthos.
Before he leaves.
Very welcome.
As we head out, I look to Navari and say, shall we be hitting a stationery shop?
Yes.
Thought so.
All right. So, you guys acquire the appropriate inks and paper based on Navari's memory. And Navari is going to forge invitations, I assume?
Yeah, I have the
Okay.
feature false identity.
So what I want you to do, Navari, is roll a deception. No, actually, what's your modifier on deception?
Deception
Mhm.
is. I think
It's
I have
going to be
double.
intelligent.
Yeah,
or,
I
no,
have
it's
double.
charisma.
I have double proficiency in it.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. So what?
7.
7. Okay.
And if it's low, can I use
Plus the
my
D4.
inspiration? Oh, plus
If
the
you're rolling
D4.
for her.
Plus the D4.
I am.
And then if it's bad, I can use inspiration.
I'm not going to tell you what you got. Just know that when you go to the party and show them your invitations, that is when you'll find out how you did. And
How
so,
does she feel about her work though? Because she's done
she feels
forgery.
great about it. Like,
Okay.
Watch it
oh,
be
yeah.
a 1.
She is very confident in it. And I mean, like,
Okay.
as you guys spent the time like talking about. Now, do you guys want to like create
Oh,
any
it- like to say I'm also proficient in the forgery kit?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what I meant. Like deception. Like, yeah, I will flip flop and get names of skills and things wrong all the time, but I know
Well,
what
that's-
I'm in my head. I know what I'm asking.
That's also what I was gonna say, because your forgery kit would have its own role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's intelligence.
Yep.
Well, it's intelligence, or depending on what, because I always do query for mine, like dragon chest, brewer supply, stone cutting, so that way, depending on what he's asking for, like, is this an intelligence based check, or am I doing, because it requires fine delicate handwork, is it a dexterity check instead?
Oh,
Yeah, so for her in this regard, I would treat it as intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, then
But
I'm glad you
anyway,
went with deception, because that's way higher.
that is where we are going to stop tonight. Next week, we will kick it off with them arriving at the masquerade and seeing what kind of trouble and mischief occurs from that. I just wanted to say thank you all who tuned in and watched tonight. And if you're watching this over on YouTube when we upload it in it'd be 2 weeks, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and always remember Thursday nights at 6:30 p.m. You can log on to Heart of the Game over here on Twitch and watch us live. Join us in chat. And check out this very fun Eberron campaign we've been having for the last, it's been 2 months now, actually,
Has
so it's
it?
been really fun.
Has
I
it?
definitely look forward to this every week. Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
we 2 months. Now, that's fun. We had, like, a technical error 1 week, so really it's closer to 3.
Yeah, well, because you guys started,
In June.
yeah,
Oh,
you guys started a
yeah.
while ago.
Yeah, so I'm very excited because next week will be episode 10. But
Woo!
also a friendly reminder is that I will have a few other streams going on next week on Heart of the Game. So, if you are subscribed and you have your notifications set, you can hang out with me. I believe I'm penciling in Tuesday night. I'll be doing painting some Battletech miniatures. Thursday will, of course, be Dungeons and Dragons live from all of our locations as we play socially distant, and we also may be able to get a board game day in there as well if it's something people want to crash and check out as we demo some new product that just came in pretty recently. But as always, I ask you all, please be safe, be good to one another, and again, we thank you so much for checking us out, and everybody out there, just have a great week.